Hello everybody, this is the Goofsome Fox coming at you with a match here in the Desert Zaku, and this is going to be a 400 cost rated match on Arctic base here. And yeah, I just wanted to get the Desert Zaku out for quite a while now, since I do remember it being buffed, and I don't think I played it after it was buffed, mainly because prior to that, I had played it so many times trying to get a match with it, when it initially came out as part of limited missions, and well, after that I just kind of took a break from playing it. Also, just with 400 and 450, there is a pretty wide variety of suits I play at that cost, so really it was another thing too that kind of played into me really taking a break from the Desert Zaku here. I have nothing against the suit itself. I do think it is a pretty fun unit overall, and again, yeah, it was pretty nice to get it out here. The Desert Zaku, it is a general. It is native to 400 and going to go up to 450 at level 2. For this match here, I'm actually going to be using the Gelgook Beam Rifle as my main primary weapon here. Now, using the Gelgook Beam Rifle does have its drawbacks, mainly being that it does remove one of your readily available instant stuns. You do have to charge the Beam Rifle to get a stun, but the good thing though about this match here is that it seemed like the Beam Rifle with the uncharged shot really helped me get a lot of kills that I don't think I would have gotten otherwise, and you'll see it a couple times throughout this match where there'll be a low health enemy, and I just hit him with one blast from the normal fire, and it'll help me get, some points for the team, which is always nice, especially for a basic match here where, we don't have to worry about things like aces and whatnot. And the other good thing about it too is that just, I don't have to run the risk of accidentally stunning my teammates with a rocket launcher if I was using one of those instead. Which, speaking of rocket launchers, the Desert Zaku does have two optional bazookas that it can use. The first one is the Desert Zaku, I believe they call it the Rocket Bazooka for that one, and that is the default weapon that this suit comes with. And yeah, it's a pretty nice bazooka overall. The Desert Ramal Desert Zaku uses that same bazooka, so if you're familiar with that suit as well, yeah, pretty much the same weapon there. And then the other optional bazooka you can use is the Giant Bazooka with cloth. Now, personally, I've never used that bazooka on this suit, not that I can remember at least. So, but I have seen it used by other players, so I assume it is a viable choice. At least a viable alternative when it comes to the regular Desert Zaku Rocket Bazooka. So at that point, it's probably just up to personal preference which one you would want to use. And with probably the Gelgook Beam Rifle here being the weapon I see the least, which, as I mentioned, is probably because you do lose one of your readily available instant stuns. Because the only other stun you get with this suit is going to be your rocket grenades, which are the grenades you throw, and then you can direct them depending on where you are looking, and yeah, those get you a stun. It's the same grenades that the Dom, Chopin, and the Dwaj come with. So yeah, they're a pretty nice weapon to use, but they do take some time to really, activate, because you have to toss them, and then you have to be able to aim them, so yeah, maybe, and you only get two of them too, so if you're trying to get a pretty quick instant stun, probably not going to be the best option unless, you have time to set it up. But again, the Gelgook Beam Rifle I don't think is that bad of a weapon on the suits. Really in a scenario like this where it came in very much a helpful hand here in, as you can see here, trying to just take a few pot shots at the enemy when I can. Another good thing too about this that relates to the buff for this suit is that the Heat Tomahawk now had two melee swings that it can work with. Originally it only had one, which usually for the Giant Tomahawk, that's usually how it goes with this weapon. But I think the exception with this suit here that I think made this one a bit more deserving of it is that other suits that have the large Heat Tomahawk, usually they will have a second melee option, like the Desert Zaku, the Desert Ramal version I mentioned earlier. That suit does have blow as a melee weapon, or not really a melee weapon, but you can punch other suits. That's the main thing there. And even with the Dwaj variants as well, they do have a heat saber that they are able to switch to. So those suits having that and really being able to fire those weapons, not fire those weapons, but swing those axes once, considering the axe also does an instant knockdown no matter how you hit somebody with it. In that scenario, I can see how it makes sense to have the setup it does. But the Desert Zaku here was, you know, it only had the one swing, which could work, but usually it relied on you kind of getting the downswing, because downswing is going to do the most damage. You can use the any other swing if you maybe want to set up something for your teammates, but again, the downswing is, I think, what most players tend to go for when trying to use the Heat Tomahawk in any variety there. So, yeah, definitely having the second swing is good for having a setup. And also, because you can see here, I'm able to knock over that enemy Zaku and get a side swing for a little extra damage. But you can also see that the drawback with this weapon as well is that it has a longer cooldown time, so you're not able to really follow up with another melee attack. You do have to, you know, maybe just use another weapon. If you have maybe a bazooka or something, or if you're, you know, like I said, using the Gelgook beam rifle here, you can quickly follow up with a shot from one of your weapons. But melee, I think you might, I don't even know if it's actually possible to do a follow-up with it. I think you gotta be like really quick for it to work. Even then, I think it's just really not worth going that often. You're definitely not going to get the downswing off again. So, yeah, just something to really remember when using this weapon here. But other than that, I still like using the Desert Zaku. It's still, I think, a pretty fun suit to use. It does have a pretty interesting loadout with the rocket grenades and the machine gun it has. You also have the arm like missile launcher, which is pretty much an iconic thing when it comes to the Desert Zaku variants. I think most of them have it. The only one that I think might be lacking it is going to be the Desert Ramal version, but every other one typically has that arm missile launcher to some capacity. And right now I'm trying to see if I can get that Fritz Helmet Zaku, which I was able to get it with the Gelgook beam rifle there. And right now just trying to stay back. Looks like there is the Alma Zaku here, but I'm going to be jumping down from the bridge. And just trying to take a few pot shots. And as you can see with a neutral, over 2,500 damage with an uncharged shot to evade. That is some pretty decent damage to be carrying. And again, gonna finish him off with a neutral shot there. So, yeah, definitely does have some usage there. Right now it does look like I'm surrounded. And I did get heavy staggered by that Aqua Gym Dominance. So, not gonna last too much longer here. And I think that's actually gonna be my only death throughout this match here. So, yeah, we're nearing the last few seconds, and it should be coming soon for the, timeout mission over. So we'll see how we did here with the Desert Zaku. And hey, mission completed, and we'll see how we did. We have some good works going around in the chat there on the side, and top in individual and top in damage dealt. Gonna send a couple praises out. And first place overall with 8 kills and 1 loss. Not too shabby there. And yeah, that's going to be the end of the match there. And yeah, Desert Zaku, still a pretty decent suit to play. Pretty fun general for 400. Really at 450, I don't think I've played it too much compared to the 400 cost version. 450, I'm not really sure with the 451. I feel like if that one I might be a bit iffier on when it comes to deciding how good that variant is. But the 400, I will say, at least it's still fun to play, and after the buffs, it does feel like a pretty fun suit. Having that double melee swing is a really nice change, because again, you can instantly knock over anything, no matter how you hit somebody, so that's definitely a pretty good pro for using this suit. But that's going to be the end of this video here. Comment down below what you think about the Desert Zaku. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.